You get it all.
Peaceful in Miami outside the ballpark. Plenty of energy. Lone Depot Park continues to play host as we begin the quarterfinal round in Miami, as tonight it's Team Korea tasked with it. Still feel like there is business to accomplish. We welcome you back to Lone Depot Park. Rain in the area much of the afternoon. None of it matters with the roof closed here. Back with Yonder Alonso, Matt Vasgersian. Nice finished second in National League Cy Young voting last year, who will slot right at the top of the Philadelphia Phillies rotation at the end of the month.
Yeah, 32 starts, but here's the deal. His last outing
last year. Let's take a look at Team Korea's starting lineup. We talked about Bo Young-boon in the open. He has been kind of a one-man band. 2 homers, 2 of the 5 that Team Korea has hit. 11 RBIs, most ever. The Korean team, as talented as they are, as fundamentally solid as they are, they do not have an advantage when it comes to power in this matchup with the Dominican Republic. So the more they can load the bases, the more they can run and perhaps play the station-to-station game.
Do anything and create these pressure situations. They have to try to get this ace early.
Do-young Kim, Jumai Jones, Jung-hoo lead things off for Team Korea. An inning and a third on Friday. He was limited to 45 pitches in that game, and his first offering is swung out and missed. So as you're used to watching in the World Baseball Classic, don't fall in love with watching a starter out there for very long. An Albert pitch range is when they'll start keeping their eye on Christopher Sanchez tonight. Albert very aware of his 1-1 pitch swung out and missed.
That's the pitch right there, that sinker down in the zone. He didn't really have that in his previous start. A lot of pitches at the top of the zone.
Point more familiar than those on Team Korea. That's in play for Manny Machado, and Christopher Sanchez first out comes on the ground tonight.
Well, that's the ground ball. Like you said, Matty, he's got what, 65 pitches, 70 pitches at most.
Trying to avoid the deep counts. Well, the ground ball was to the former Angel. Jones here representing Korea by virtue of his mother Michelle of Korean descent. Maybe enough to get another bite to eat, and maybe some baseball slang. 2 balls and a strike to Jones. And the Tigers in a platoon capacity really shined against left-handed pitching. Big reason why he's in there tonight, batting second.
It's got a good one.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Jumai Jones. Another ground ball, this one for Perdomo.
Multiple great plays, it feels like every game.
So 2 ground ball outs, and that'll an MVP in the KBO before coming stateside and signing that big contract to play with the San Francisco Giants. Quickly behind 0-2 is Jung-hoo Lee.
Grandson of the Wind.
The Wind was a pretty good player in Korea too. Little noise behind Sanchez. And an all-business start to the night by the Dominican ace. Korea goes down in order. Half inning gone. Korea 0. DR coming to bat. Well, Team Korea knew that if they got this far into the knockout round, they were saving their best weapon for this night to try to move on through the quarterfinals. And it's Junior, Marte, and Soto to start for Team Dominican Republic. Will set the rest of the DR lineup in a moment. Hyun-jin Ryu will be.
He threw for a 3.27 ERA. A little bit of a different pitcher. He's going to rely on that fastball, that changeup. Got to move, the Dominican hitters' feet.
Seen in Korea, first player in the history of their league to win Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season. Left as a star, signed a big deal to come stateside, run during the time date stamp you see on the screen, and then returned to Korea, where he is still pitching professionally in the KBO. And a full count to Fernando Tatis Jr. Ryu's 3-2 home, and it's still a full count. So one of the things that, and you've seen it yonder because you've been doing the entire rest, their coaching staff, we spoke to a lot of them today, it's not just the power, it's the quality of the at-bat. Willing to take walks, unlike previous incarnations of this team.
Little things you can do, get on base, not just go searching for a home run, it's actually searching for big innings.
Tatis locked up on a big yacker. Oh, 100. So after the strikeout starts the night, here is the three-time All-Star Cattell.
If they're seeing something, Tatis is letting everybody know. And this is a team that loves to hit left-handed pitching.
Head-to-head between Marte and Ryu, but nothing since 2019. I think regardless of who gets to work on the mound for Team Corner. Last time Team Dominican Republic took the field, their first 4 hitters in the lineup all homered. There are 22 combined. Ryu's fallen behind the 3-1, and it's a full count.
And that's where the Dominican team has to lay off.
One gone, bases empty, bottom of the first, and a chopper to shortstop for Jung-hoo Kim. 2 quick outs for Ryu. Monero, 45 homers, is a 21-year-old last year. Julio Rodriguez, a 3-time All-Star. Agustin Ramirez and Geraldo Perdomo. Here's Soto. The 4-time All-Star and 6-time Silver Slugger picks on the first pitch. Ha-seong Kim bobbles, recovers in plenty of time, and it's a scoreless first for Ryu. Rest of the tournament will play out right here after the quarterfinals that are split between here and Houston. A scoreless start to the night in this one. And the reigning Rookie of the Year in the KBO. One of the more disciplined hitters on a very disciplined lineup. On finished his rookie year with more walk. 2 ground outs and a strikeout looking for each starter tonight. Big pass and a miss to put on behind 1-2.
That's Sanchez.
His opening assignment in the Classic. Threw 28 pitches in that first inning. Got through the first inning tonight with only 12.
Efficiency.
That takes you a lot deeper into your pitch count than you could have been. And a chopper for Marte. Infield's been busy so far tonight for the Dominicans, and there's one away.
And that's a very good sign if they are. That means you're being efficient. You're down in the zone, and that's what Sam
has done much of the heavy lifting for Team Korea so far. 11 runs batted in, the most ever for any player in the first round of the tournament. And rather anxiously chopping one to 2023. Here's Shea Whitcomb now with 2 quick outs on the board.
And a lot of times for these hitters, they've seen Sanchez before.
Ball and no strikes. Whitcomb having spent parts of the last couple of years with the Houston Astros, and he plays for Team Korea by virtue of his mother Uni. A ball and a strike to count from Sanchez.
The best way I can describe it is
because you didn't want to get behind.
Did not want to get behind. I've seen it too many times.
Wow, all business, man. And here in Miami, a scoreless start to the night between the Dominican Republic and Korea. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Manny Machado, Blue Jay teammates, albeit for a short time.
Yeah, he had a little laugh at that first pitch, moving his feet. I remember even more of a nervous wreck when he comes to the stadium. I said, your dad played forever.
Your dad's in the Hall of Fame. His son's career. Oh, that's what we do as dads. And there's ball 4. And there's some of the great plate discipline that we discussed in the first inning. Some easy takes.
It's what they do.
16 of those walks in the tournament have come around to score. And here's Manny Machado now, the 7-time All-Star and future Hall of Famer. And he takes strike 1 here, don't we? The Dodgers have not forgotten about it.
Oh.
What an odd agitator ever since leaving there. 2 balls and a strike to Machado.
That's a good lay right there.
In Korea, walked only 25 batters in 144 innings last year. Manny sends that one into the outfield. First ball that's been put in play out there. Jahmai Jones handles it for out number 1.
A little bit of backwards pitching.
Here is the 22-year-old Tampa Bay Rays star Junior Caminero, who's straightened up on strike 1.
All the players are raving about this kid. They think he's going to be one of those guys about him, and he took 10 minutes just to talk about him.
Kind of a nice moment earlier in the tournament where he was
very quick bat. I mean, one of the fastest bat speeds in the game. Like that right there.
You know, because Ryu's not going to be out there for a long time, that's going to stay fair and do a little damage. It's going to rattle around in the corner. And they're going to wave Big Vladdy, throw to the plate. What a slide! He's safe! Oh, man! Vladdy mid-air.
Well, check this out. Gets a pitch down in the zone, just like Vladdy's dad used to do. But the best thing is Vladdy right here with his secondary in the lead. But once this turns, look at this. He sees what's happening. Yep.
We saw Vlad take flight like that against the Yankees in the postseason last year.
Picture perfect.
Yankee fans look away. Infield in. That ball smothered by Kim. Throw to first base. Brings in another score on an RBI ground ball.
He's got to make contact. That's something they struggled on in the previous World Baseball Classic in 2023. They were trying to go big.
Ball with no strikes to Agustin Ramirez. 24-year-old Miami numbers in his first full year in the Grande Ligas last year. And there's ball 4.
For kids at home, understanding the throw is waving you off, but Julio Rodriguez won the game. You're still in the play.
2 in with 2 away. Runner at first for a bunting Geraldo Perdomo, who pushes that one foul. And that would have caught him. And this from a guy in Perdomo yonder who drove in 100 runs last year for the Diamondbacks. 0-2 the count to Geraldo Perdomo. A little check-in. And he is a top rail heater guy now, right? So that wrinkle, and we saw the curveball that he used to dig even harder, and it looks like it's B. Perdomo sends that to center field. What a nice at-bat that was. Base hit on a 2-strike count. Runners at first and second for Tatis.
Good pitch down in the zone right there. Perdomo just stays through it. Just love how he goes and gets it with his lower half. Whew. There's just no break, Manny, in this line.
Dominicans going undefeated in pool play. Into the opposite field. It's going to get Ramirez home. 3-0 DR.
Look at Tatis. Let it travel. Oh, thing of beauty. That was the approach the whole at-bat.
Fernando Tatis Jr. has driven in 10 runs in 4+ games in this tournament. Round and bat from the left side. Since this turning 40, turns out his second act has been his best, and that just dropped off the table.
And you're going to see a lot of that. But the approach for the Dominican has been elite.
Marte, and a foul ball, says the first base umpire. Man, that looked awfully close. Not by much.
Not by much.
Nice call.
You would think you would slow him down with a changeup.
Marte swings over the top of a ball in the dirt. However, 3 runs on 3 hits.